Hi, and welcome back, and thanks for being here with us. As always, it is Thursday the 30th and last day of April. We'll bring in May on a much drier, somewhat warmer note tomorrow. Temperatures, I expect tomorrow into the mid-60s, but we've got low to mid-80s for much of the forecast period, at least the latter portion of which, and I think that's going to be the beginning of a long, warm run. More on that in just a few moments. One of those days, attempting to be more places than once, still have not mastered that feat. In addition to doing tonight's show, which will be a bit short, I do believe. We've been setting up for the McGoffin County Rescue Squad media auction. I'll tell you more about that in just a few moments. And the McGoffin County Fiscal Court was to meet at 6 just prior to the auction starting at 6:30, of which both of those places I'll need to be. This show taped a little bit earlier, and in an effort for me to try to make it to those events, and then, of course, have some coverage for you for the fiscal court meeting tomorrow, and some other news to roll in with that as we get ready to wind down the work week for the first weekend in May, Derby Day, and a whole lot of other wonderful things going on. So, with that said, I'll be right back with our first local headline after I tell you about a special event with a young man who we have showcased here in the program on numerous occasions. And for a special way to say thank you to the folks who have supported him the most, his first real public show is going to be here in McGoffin County.
Eastern Kentucky, get ready to rock. Nashville recording artist and local singer-songwriter Kyle Douglas is coming to town. On Saturday, May 23rd, the Kyle Douglas Band will be performing at the McGoffin County High School Gym. Opening act, Road to Fame winner Jason Goebel and Fusion. Tickets are only $10. The doors open at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8. There will also be drawings for free CDs and T-shirts.
It's the summer kickoff concert with Kyle Douglas Band and Jason Goebel and Fusion, and a way to say thanks to those who have helped kick off his career. Tickets are just $10. The show is May the 23rd at the McGoffin County High School, and get your tickets at the high school, McGoffin Farm Bureau, your Sayersville Dairy Queen and Lee's Famous Recipe, the Quick Mart in Paintsville, and other locations. Kyle Douglas Band, Jason Goebel and Fusion, May the 23rd. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Several days ago, more than 300 people, residents, business, land, homeowners, along Route 114, or which travel that particular stretch of Eastern Kentucky roadway, were part of a public hearing, a meeting, if you will, not so much a hearing, but a public meeting, a presentation on behalf of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, presenting, as I told you prior to, a couple of different options that they have for the final leg of the Mountain Parkway Extension Project, which will be from Sayersville to Prestonsburg. Two presentations, one following the existing corridor of Route 114, and a cross-country path, if you will, were discussed. I was unable to be at that meeting. However, I did spend some time this morning with Marshall Carrier, a project manager with the project, and he tells me in great detail about what was discussed at the meeting, and precisely that the two projects are not anywhere close to being set in stone at this point, but that they're trying to get an overall impression on what the homeowners, landowners, and general public would rather see, a country corridor or to widen and improve the existing path of 114.
In the process of updating old data, we have currently on the books we have 2003 environmental data, and in that process of updating that data for the alignment along the existing corridor, we thought, well, we better step back and gauge the public's interest on a cross-country alignment. In doing so, we wanted to have comparable situations for both, where we have no intermediate access points along the alignment. You're on and off. We're going to be here in Prestonsburg and right here in Sayersville. Some notable differences between the two alignments are this is a fully controlled access facility. This is much like what you see interstate system-wise and what you'll see on other portions of the Mountain Parkway. This is partially controlled with 1,200-foot access spacings where the driver will have the ability to either make a U-turn or turn into the other side of the road and follow a small frontage road back to other properties. As far as overall delivery and probably more importantly right-of-way impacts, we wanted to stress to the public that you know, the mentality of doing an alignment in an area like this versus a cross-country alignment, the right-of-way impacts are significantly different. Along existing corridor, you're looking at give or take about 100 or so relocations. Now that's just not right-of-way effects, that's actual relocations. On a cross-country alignment such as this, you know, you're significantly less, maybe a third of that number.
In fact, when you compare the two, estimates show that for the cross-country corridor, 97 properties would be affected versus 231 for the existing 114 route. Home and business relocations equate to about 28 or so for the cross-country route versus more than 110 for the existing corridor. And for acres to be purchased for the cross-country corridor, about double, actually a little more, 952 versus 419.
Another thing, too, that we wanted to stress to the public was in the meeting, we're not choosing either alignment. What we were doing was gauging the public's interest on is there interest on a cross-country alignment. If there is, then we're going to carry both forward from an environmental update standpoint and from a data update standpoint to get to a point that we choose either an alignment near to this or an alignment near to this. You know, it's just two different design mentalities.
While Carrier tells me that today is the cutoff day for submitted opinions to be mailed into the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, overall public opinion from the more than 300 people who were at the public meeting pertaining to this project, which is one of the largest turnouts they've ever had, is leaning about 3-1 toward the cross-country route.
As far as the cross-country alignment versus, along the existing corridor, it's about a 75-25 split. I think there was 3/4 of the people at the meeting were in favor of pursuing, investigating a cross-country alignment. We felt that it was imperative that we back up a little bit and look at, issues such as stream impact costs and right-of-way impact, not only costs, but actual impacts to the property owners. What's going on along either alignment? How are these people being affected? And obviously to gauge their interest, and that's exactly what we did with the public meeting.
While the total length for both of these proposals is relatively the same, 13.5 miles for the cross-country route and 14 for the existing corridor, total costs also very similar. The left column is the cross-country route, the right, the existing corridor, and for construction costs, there is a difference of a little more than $30 million, $229 for the cross-country, $197 for the existing corridor. As for stream impacts, it's greater for the existing corridor, $12 million versus $22 million, and utilities is also about $5 million higher for the existing corridor versus the cross-country route, $4 million versus $9 million. And another difference is the right-of-way, which is also greater for the existing corridor to the tune of $10 million more. The total, however, is about $7 million in difference, with it being a greater cost but with less impact as far as homeowners and other things taken into consideration for the cross-country route at $256 million versus $249. All this information and more can be seen at the Mountain Parkway Expansion Office in the Magoffin County Plaza. The last question I posed to Carrier was about the progress of the Restaurant Row project. It is going on at an expedited pace given the fact that federal dollars have been infused into the program. Basically, he says a project of this size and nature would be a 5-year project, but given the federal funding, they are having to narrow it down to about 2 years.
Right now, we're in the process of making offers on portions of that section of the Mountain Parkway, Restaurant Row proper. It's an ongoing process. It's a very fluid process because we're designing as we go. We have certain constraints that we're bound to federally because we were lucky enough back in September of last year, we were notified that we were one of few people across the entire nation that got a substantial federal grant to do that section of Mountain Parkway to bring it to construction. So very excited about doing that, but in terms there are some strings attached to that, and one of those strings is a compressed time schedule that we're cognizant of, but also we have to be in a position to hopefully let that job in spring or summer of next year.
Up next is your McGoffin County Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar brought to you by your local agent, Doug Green.
A couple of reminders. The Sangersville Trinity Full Gospel Church on Burning Fork is having a big yard sale tomorrow and Saturday. They'll start bright and early at 7 with a whole lot of items, men, women, children's clothing, shoes, toys, home decor, and more. Please stop by and check it out tomorrow and Saturday at Sangersville Trinity Full Gospel Church on Burning Fork. Another reminder, this one coming from the Kearney Free Will Baptist Church, specifically their Ladies Auxiliary. They're having a yard sale and a bake sale tomorrow and Saturday in Sangersville in town in front of the Town and Country Flowers. Clothing, books, miscellaneous items. Sale starts at 8 o'clock both mornings, and they're picking and grinning at Kearney Free Will Baptist Church this Saturday evening at 7. And if you got a hankering for some soup beans, well, today would be a good day for them, wouldn't it? Cold rain. Tomorrow will be just as good. The McGoffin County Extension Homemakers has a big meal tomorrow, just $5 for the soup beans, cornbread, kraut, wieners, fried potatoes, onions, and a brownie. You can stop by and eat at the Extension office or call to order 349-3216. And in a couple of weeks, the Sangersville Fire Department will be hosting their fishing tournament at the Paintsville Lake. First place is $1,000. It's $100 per boat. Other big prizes. Call 349-3256. And just in, there's going to be a special called meeting of the Harold Whitaker Middle School Site-Based Council Monday the 4th at 10 o'clock that morning in the school's conference room. They will be consulting in hiring a Youth Services Center director. And for birthdays, anniversaries, and calendar announcements, this indeed is how you get them on your news today. In local funeral services, 79-year-old Robert Wheeler of Milton, New York, has passed away, formerly of McGoffin County, the son of the late Lester and Ethel Cantrell Wheeler. He's survived by his wife, Janice Mallison Wheeler, and 3 daughters. Services are going to be held tomorrow in New York in his honor. Once again, 79-year-old Robert Wheeler, formerly of McGoffin County. We've also learned of the passing today of 62-year-old Penelope K. Blanton Jackson, Penny Jackson of Paintsville Road, New Paintsville Road, who passed away on yesterday's date, the daughter of Jewel Jackson and the late Melvin Blanton. She was married to Darvin Jackson, who survives. Also surviving is a son, Timothy Riley Caldwell, and stepsons David and Stephen Jackson. Visitation is going to be after 5 o'clock tomorrow and until services. They'll start Saturday afternoon at 1 at the Sangersville Pentecostal Church of Christ. Burial is going to take place afterwards at the Jackson Reisner Cemetery at Rock House, while the McGoffin County Funeral Home is handling all arrangements. And lastly, infant son of Brett and Alicia Williams McCarty, Jonah Preston McCarty, has passed away on yesterday's date. Arrangements are still being made at this time, to be announced soon by the McGoffin County Funeral Home. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband.
Now, I'm off a bit early. The McGoffin County Fiscal Court starting at 6 p.m., taping this show a bit earlier, and then the McGoffin County Rescue Squad Media Auction beginning at 7:30. You can catch it on Channel 15 on Howard's Cable, local radio 97.3. Any way you can, we hope you can get next to a TV or radio and bid and buy. Next year, we're hopeful that the squad auction will be available on any and all media outlets or methods that we have to present it to you, whether it be the internet, Foothills, what have you. We hope to expand that coverage in more and continued support of the McGoffin County Rescue Squad. But for now, if you can tune in one way or the other or stop by and bid, please, please feel free to do so. We encourage you to do just that. With that said, here's a few things that they were doing just before airtime.
This is one of the latest items just dropped off. A couple of representatives of Air Evac Medical Service dropped off that TV. We've got here, looks like a 200-watt Sherwood brand receiver, a couple of nice Pioneer speakers to go with it. You'll find just a little bit of everything at the McGoffin County Rescue Squad Media Auction. This is the 36th annual, over 40 years of service to McGoffin County, a handmade toy box for the kids. We've got a nice traveling guitar bag, Coke, concrete potting stands, if you will, flower pots, coffee makers, I mean, coolers, you name it. So far, 166 items. A lot of nice items, though. Everything is just, as you can see, got some really nice value to it. A lot of gas cards, food cards, and the like. Number of items, well, that's been waning over the past several years, and we hope that will not be a sign of activity or funds raised. The biggest fundraiser of the year for the Magafa County Rescue Squad, and it couldn't happen without your support or without a lot of volunteers who will be soon manning this station, which is going to be a whole lot more active in the next few moments. Howard's Cable, Channel 15, 97.3. Your local, 106.5, your local radio dial. Having a bit of a flashback there. But tune in, bid, and support the Magafa County Rescue Squad if at all possible. We'll talk about their efforts and how the first night went on tomorrow's show after we see a bunch of these tickets coming off the board. So as I try to make my rounds, a quick update on your forecast from Licking Valley RECC, which has got, well, as it often does, a little bit of everything. Some really chilly showers coming down today, and continuing into the evening, starting to wane, but we'll see some occasional showers. I haven't seen any thunderstorms associated with it. Not sure that we will. We'll see a northwest wind, 5 miles per hour, so becoming 0. And actually, I had a 4-mile-an-hour wind, and I'm already at 0 for the time being, so maybe wind's already starting to wane. Daytime high of 66. We started off at 48 today, so still a bit, well, more than just a bit under average and where we should be. That's where we'll fall again tomorrow. 66, a low of 44, mostly cloudy skies. I think some scattered showers, mainly before 10 o'clock in the morning on your Friday. Clouds will hang tough, I think, throughout much of the day. By late tomorrow night, we'll see an ultimate low of 44, but clouds will start to part. And then that will be a sign of things to come for your weekend. Derby Day and everything else going on this first Saturday of May. It's going to be under some gorgeous, gorgeous skies that should be pretty close to where we should be. Mostly sunny, 74, lows in the mid-40s. Only a few clouds above late Saturday night. The latter half of your weekend, 77 and sunny. I got 79 and sunny on your Monday, then 80 on Tuesday, 82 Wednesday. I've got 83 on Thursday. We may make another run at the 80s for a few days thereafter. For now, that indeed is my time. We'll see you back here tomorrow night, wrapping up this week coverage at Your News Today, and we hope that any way that you can, if you can, please tune in or stop by and support our Magafa County Rescue Squad in their efforts to raise funds once again with their annual media auction. For now, thank you for watching, and have a good night.